Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time, the Grand Tactician Civil War Union campaign, hopefully with what will be the first battle of the stream. It may not be again. The previous battle wasn't a battle because they ran away, and at the moment I haven't been editing out the non-battles. It does look like the enemy has gained even more forces since we last faced them, with our estimates increasing their size up to 14,000 from the 13,000 in the last engagement. They ended up withdrawing under cover of darkness during the last engagement. So we'll see if we can engage them before they run away. We may not be able to. Depends upon the terrain of the map. The last map was not conducive to very rapid movements. We barely even got anywhere near the river. And it's the same map again. So if they want to disengage, they will probably get away with it again. Nope, this is a different estimate from the last one. So you can see I've got Fog of War on, so the estimates are wrong. Is a good way to think about it. We estimate they got 12,000 men, 2 guns. Last time was 13,000 men and 49 guns, so you can see the validity of those estimates there. Entire army deploy vaguely like that, let's say. Detach the cavalry. Hit play. You order the entire army to move to, say, there. And then order the cav to do kind of the same, except just get them closer to the bridge. And then max speed while we wait for our army to move or the enemy to run away, whichever happens first. I think their objective last time was like here, now it's here. Hasn't moved very much. Is that the cav up front? No, one of the rifle units has actually outrun the cav. I guess the cav is caught up in the traffic jam. Somewhere in here. There's the cav, yeah, caught up in the traffic jam. Again, this is not, because of the deep ravine here, this is not a map conducive to very rapid attack. I'm going to push one of the armies across the... We're going to slowly have to push them across the river. Hopefully not the enemy on the other side of the river. Honestly, if I was them, I'd probably fight me on this map, because this is a map that's probably conducive to their defense. Even given my numbers. Because they just have to hold the river here. And there isn't really a good way around. Oh, interesting. We do have one unit up to end of day. Okay, so the enemy hung around. Troops resupply. And we control enough of the river, we may just be able to deploy it on the far side of the river, which will be conducive to rapid assaults. McClellan, where's McClellan? There's McClellan. McClellan, tell the unit to deploy on the far side of the river. Yeah. And we can do the same with the cav. Got some entrenchment, but we're definitely attacking here. So hit play and we get going. McClellan, order the entire army to advance onto the flat plains, please. And then order the cav into like this area, hopefully to a little bit better line of sight. So the enemy has not disengaged. Now, how much of that is yeah, so they apparently have 14,000. How much of that is they're not scared of us, or maybe they weren't ready to engage for whatever reason? Okay, army moving. Okay, so reconnaissance does put them on the plains. I don't know if that's the infantry. Infantry's under attack. Okay. Yeah, so it's maybe a little bit of a bloody frontal assault. I'm not going to spend the time to disengage and re-engage on their flank. Their front is a little short, so we'll probably end up engaging in such a way where we are able to envelop one end of from the front. Okay, the infantry is almost in position. And to be fair, I think I have better artillery size than they do. We've got two 6-gun batteries. We are currently being under fire from something the game is not even considered to have a gun. They presumably have a gun, let's say. So yeah, we will probably be able to put much greater fire downrange and return to their battery, but obviously our batteries have to get in position first. We also have nice 3-inch ordnance rifles. So the rifles here should do quick work of targets at a decent range. Yeah, definitely within range. Once our artillery is happy in its position, at least partially got the range to open fire at decent click.
Keep it steady now. Anytime now, men. Anybody got any water to spare? Coffee? Make sure. Anybody got any water to spare?
Okay, 1st Division, shake out your skirmishers. Same with you, 2nd Division. Shake out the skirmishers.
Watch those flank. March up.
Okay. Pushing the line forward, we'll send the cap to go threaten the flank. It's not being threatened by the other infantry unit. Gunfire does begin to fire. This is a little louder than I remember it to be. Go and turn the audio down a little bit. That's probably the sound volume. See how that sounds. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Gunfire is supposed to be loud, but you know, we want to be able to hear after the battle is over. Okay, one of the skirmishers is withdrawn, but otherwise we're proceeding fine. Okay, so they do have a unit in reserve on their right. So the cavalry won't be able to roll up to the right very easily. On the other hand, we don't see any of the equivalent on their left. Yeah, the skirmishers aren't necessarily coming off the better because the enemy is an entrenchment, but they are definitely keeping the enemy pinned down while the flanks deliver. Almost there. Give them the double time order. We're waiting on them. Okay. I think it is time. Call the skirmishers and have the main units attack. Enemy has pulled the reserve on the right, reinforce the left, so our cavalry will descend on their right. Turn the enemy's right. halt command where they hopefully engage the enemy. We want them to fire at the enemy, not charge them. That might not be effective. We may be charging the enemy. That's actively being shot at by multiple units. But I think we have turned this battle into a victory. Even by doing a frontal assault on a well-entrenched position. By the magic of flank. Enemies retreating. I'm not surprised in the slightest about that. Most of the enemy is routing, to be fair, so what isn't retreating, I would be more surprised. Yeah, we just inflicted a quarter of the army losses. Okay, mount up. Grant, take your cavalry in charge. That's not very charging of you. Whoop. The unit does not want to move. Oh, I suppose we got guys fetching cavalry. Okay. Some horses are missing. Because presumably some horses ran off during the dismount phase. The battle there. Okay. Well, that's all we were able to do. 3-1 in our favor. I think that's a good victory. Battle of Beverley has actually been won this time, instead of the enemy simply just withdrawing ahead of us. by the standards of what the game considers a major victory, that is in fact apparently a major victory. So 1% morale loss for the enemy nation, and our military expertise raises by 1%. So if you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be more parts coming up. Whether there'll be, well, there probably won't be another part today, because it'll probably be the campaign portion and this battle video. But there'll probably be another campaign portion up tomorrow, and if there isn't, there'll be 2 battle portions up tomorrow, as I suspect a lot of happening. So this is where we're going to go ahead and end this video. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to move on to the campaign portion of the video. Because if I'm doing the editing, that'll be that. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Until the next part, the next video. And again, if you're watching on Twitch, that will be after a short mic break.